we would have a discussion about what is the greatest horror film of all time and why is it Halloween, the first one. Now, let's hear what anyone thinks it is, and we will see if we can come to a consensus. And if we can't, well, then we'll all part our separate ways as enemies. Now, who would like to give their nomination first, just to get the ball rolling?
I'm going to give my nomination.
Go on, Nick.
Great movie.
Great movie. I love it.
The Invisible Man?
Seriously, I would say The Exorcist. Largely because I haven't seen a horror movie in about 20 years. They're not my favorite genre. I'm more of a like.
Okay, Nick, we appreciate your contributions, but if this is what it is, we're going to move on, right? I haven't seen a horror movie in 20 years, and you want to go first. Okay, this is going well. Go on, Nick. Tell us why.
No, it's a classic. Like, it's a classic. It was ahead of its time. The subject is kind of demonic. Well, the subject is actually demonic. Like, that's basically all I got.
Fantastic. No, we appreciate it's always a thing to go first. Now, I'm going to tell you why it's Halloween. Halloween is nearly a perfect film until the last 15 minutes. I will admit that. But just the idea of having like the modern slasher movie, the stalker slasher movie, just like the fact that it's just this figure that's always moving slowly, but you can never get away from, is terrifying. It's the thing that makes you start to look out your shoulders. The music is iconic. It still works. It's still scary. And obviously Jamie Lee Curtis in it is the perfect, and like, you know, not the original Scream Queen because her mum was in Psycho, but I just think that Halloween is a hard one to beat. Every Halloween movie since then hasn't lived up to it, and everything else you get, Scream, Friday the 13th, they are all pretenders to the throne of the original. Ryan.
I'm going to counterpoint, say slasher movies are kind of hack. I think that inspired a million cliches out of, we get it, guy stabs, chase. Oh, all the cliches are, if you want to say it started the history of cliched stalker movies, I get it. But I'm going to come up with a left field thing that's no one's going to suggest, but it's City of the Living Dead. It's a 1980 Lucio Fulci movie. It's Italian horror. It's voice dubbed. It's very DIY. It's very gritty and pulpy. The soundtrack is composed kind of like John Carpenter by the director, and it's very lo-fi. It's very gross and visceral. When you see a zombie, you see maggots crawling on his face, like actual real live maggots. So a whole step up from prosthetics. It's like a real. That's the stuff that
you like, real things in your movies, real corpses and real maggots
versus CGI. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it feels more real when there's an element of reality actually baked into the movie. And
do you like snuff films, Ryan? Do you like snuff movies?
No comment on the record.
Okay, you know what?
That's
City of the Living Dead.
I tried watching Faces of Faces of Death.
Yeah.
And then I had to look up the lore behind it to find out that it's still pretty graphic and gross, and there's like animal death and there's still like cadavers and stuff in it. Yeah. But like I don't know. I couldn't watch the whole thing because some of that stuff is just, it crosses a line of like transgression. There's a lot of transgression films out there that are just like, you can't, it makes you icky to watch it. But
yeah. Oh, well, we can get into that too. Capital Save.
Okay, so I'm going to actually ask you the question. Is it the best Halloween movie or is it the best horror film is what we're actually answering?
I think it was the best horror film, right? Because, yeah, like Friday the 13th is specifically not a Halloween movie. You can't get Halloween fall on a Friday the 13th.
Okay, so I'm going to say the best Halloween movie is Trick or Treat so far. And there's some animated stuff on it that I would also recommend. Best horror film for me, it's going to be Insidious. That's the one who actually there's a lot of horror films that actually scared me, but because I was trapped to see them. But other than that, the Insidious one I chose to watch, and I got really scared because of one scene where at the end of the movie, where the Conjuring guy, Noah, who's the Aquaman's brother, talks into the mirror, and we see this like ghost lady who's been the very idea of the like you have your photographs and there's like or something behind the photograph throughout your childhood and your life and reaches back to your adulthood. That scared the shit out of me. It wanted me to look back my old photos and see if there's anything behind me. So that was the creepiest thing I ever saw. And the whole concept is about, you dream and you go into this alternate dimension, and sometimes things from that alternative dimension follow you to the real world. Kind of like the Freddy Krueger dream monsters, but they come into the real world. They don't just stay in your dream.
Yeah. Okay. Fair play. Okay. Marty.
This is a hard one because my first initial thought was to say that John Carpenter's The Thing, but as I got to thinking about it, I mean that is probably my favorite horror movie. But it's also, you might also want to consider it. You could also consider it sci-fi. You could also consider it. It's kind of Lovecraftian. And I believe, and Halloween is a great choice. Also, The Exorcist, I would say that's a pretty good choice, but it's a very obvious choice because that was a groundbreaking satanic film. I'm gonna go you one better. I'm gonna say that the best horror movie is the one that took The Exorcist and one-upped it and did a way better job, and that's The Omen.
Ooh.
I forgot about The Omen.
And the thing about The Omen is the thing you can say about The Omen is the sequels are also good.
Do you know what? I've seen The Omen so long ago, I don't know if I've ever seen any of the sequels, but that's an interesting thought.
What is the concept of The Omen?
Devil Boy.
It's the Antichrist, the son of Satan, come to Earth.
Okay. Dev, do you have a nominee here?
No.
You're not a horror fan, though, are you?
No.
I'm not either. I'm with Dev, actually. Halloween.
All right.
We only have to endure this because it's Halloween, right? Now, I did see, Nick, you said that there was a film that you wish you had said. Do you want to just raise it? Because I think it's a fair choice.
So, realistically speaking, I love comedy. I think that if I could somehow make this argument that this is remotely a horror movie, I would.
It is.
But I can't. But I would want to nominate Young Frankenstein.
I'd say Young Frankenstein is a horror movie. Like, it's thematically, now it may not be scary, but thematically, it's definitely a horror movie.
Right.
Yeah. But we still have to answer what is the best Halloween movie. That's
the best Halloween movie is Halloween.
Yeah, the best Halloween movie is Halloween. No,
it has the guy with a knife. That's the whole point. That's why I hated that movie. Okay, if the title wasn't Halloween, I would have loved the Mike Myers slasher film. The reason why I hated it, I was expecting the word Halloween, pumpkin monsters, skeletons, like all the classic.
Why is that Halloween? Is someone wearing a Halloween mask going around killing people on Halloween night when there's like babysitting?
William Shatner's head.
Yeah, it is William Shatner's head.
Yeah, that's the most Halloween-ish image.
For Cat, the original title of the film was going to be The Babysitter Murders.
That would have been fun.
But we could also, we're going to talk about Halloween movies. You could talk about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. But again, that's not scary, so I'm not going to recommend that one. But it's
but
an awesome Halloween movie.
It's not as scary as Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Or Hocus Pocus.
Do you know what, though? I do think, like, Marty, just mentioning The Thing, I should have thought of The Thing, because I much prefer The Thing as a movie overall. I would say that I think in terms of a scary film, like a horror film, for me, the original Halloween, I think is scarier than The Thing is. I don't think it matters if stuff is also science fiction because, because when you look at the Halloween film series itself, after the initial one, they start pumping in supernatural stuff to it, and then they try to take it away, and then it always just ends up becoming more supernatural. So, but otherwise, you could say, well, it's not a horror film, except for, it's a serial killer movie or something. But I'd say all of these things, you know, if they fit into enough of the boxes, do count. Marty.
Yeah, watch. If you haven't watched that film recently, watch it. It's so great. Not a speck, not one drop of fake blood in the movie. Not a drop of blood in the movie.
What movie is that?
Which one?
The Halloween, the original Halloween.
There's no blood in the movie.
No, all implied. Everything is.
That's
implied.
insane. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
And there's no gory effects or anything like that.
Yeah.
On
And
that
it still will scare the ever-loving shit out of you.
Psycho's like that.
that was the point I was going to make.
You
No,
do
like
see
it
blood
has-
though. You do see blood in
Psycho
the
had blood in the shower.
No,
Chocolate
Yeah, but-
syrup.
chocolate syrup. You also never see a knife. You only see the shadow of the knife.
What in Psycho?
In Psycho, you only see the shadow of the knife.
Yeah,
You
shadow.
see the knife. You see the
No,
knife.
that's the shadow. Look it
You
up.
see the knife.
I
Right,
think
I'm
That's
gonna-
been recreated in Shrek, the horror special.
right,
and
hang on.
you
I don't know.
shadow.
It's, oh, God.
100% do not show the knife in Psycho.
You
I
see
will
the
pay you.
knife.
I will send you 20 quid, David.
Oh my God! I'm about to make 20 quid. This is the first money the show has ever made. Right. Right, okay. I can't show it on the screen because it has Cap. You're going to be so thrilled that it's got some butt shots. But I swear to God, I can't show it on the screen for that reason. But I am certain.
Here's
So
a
you're
knife.
saying you only see shadows of the knife?
You
No, there's a
never see
knife.
the actual knife.
I have
You
it
only
queued
see
up
the
right
shadows.
now.
For the
Okay.
record, people that-
No, Nick, there is a knife.
It's in the dark, but it's a knife in physical.
Oh, hang on. Right. So, but I do you know what? I'll even be fair to Nick and say that he said it's like shadows. So if it's a silhouette, if that's what you mean,
No, there's
it's
a
lighting. There's no front lighting on it.
okay. There's two scenes. There's one with a shadow, and there's another where it's against her belly button.
The first scene
okay,
is
so
a
hang
knife
on. Wait
holding.
1 second here.
but
Wait 1
she's
second.
hidden.
I need
Nick
I
is
haven't-
about to
I
lose
haven't
20 quid.
present screen share. Oh, hang on, guys. I'm just gonna have to. What do I have to do on this? Because it's gonna show something on the screen that I'm just gonna have to take it on the pre-show. Audience will be back. Okay, so 1 second. So I just need to put this. You're still seeing this on the regular on Geek Battle, and you're probably still hearing me. But let's have a look here. Window and this and share. Okay, so let's just bring this up here. Okay, now and we're back in the room. And we're back in the room. We're back in the room. I need to bring up the shield of justice just to protect us, or I'll take it full screen. Right.
You can do
okay.
immersive view.
No, I can't on this, unfortunately.
Who
So-
be the knife?
I would say that there's a
See,
lot of
there
shadow
is.
there, but that looks like some light to me.
That is
That
Yeah,
like-
right on the edge of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
will-
But do you know what?
Ah,
I'm still going to be.
shit. Nick
I'm
lost
still going to
20
be fair
quid.
to Nick. I'm still going to be fair. We're just going to continue on. I'm sure you see this. Did you say something about a belly? A belly. I'm sure there is a belly
Yeah.
knife. Can't show that scene. Can't show it. That is definitely a knife. There is definitely a knife. 1 second. Let's get this belly. Let's get the belly going. Oh, God damn it. What's it doing? Right. It's taking forever. Now you just. Oh, hey, I can't show it on the screen. Damn.
David's narration and excitement is almost like navel porn.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Okay. This is appropriate to show. Are we ready? Who did we lose?
Marty.
Marty.
Oh no!
Marty.
What happened?
Marty.
Right. Marty. Boom.
Oh wow!
There it is.
Yeah. So Nick, you know,
I will Venmo you 20 quid.
you don't have to do that, my friend.
Ah, shit. Nick just lost 20 quid.
Did you know in the book that it's based on, she gets basically decapitated? Like it's a
Wow.
much more
Hmm.
brutal scenario.
By the way, has any of you ever read the Silence of the Lambs books?
A long time ago. Why do you? Oh, but you know what? That's a good shout for horror movie as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't consider Silence of I don't consider. Well, actually, yeah.
It's absolutely horror.
The Silence of the Lambs books are fucking terrifying. When you realize how
many pages it is.
Not that many. It's
okay.
I want to say
in the books you don't see the knife. You don't show the knife in the book.
Do you know what? Hang on, Ryan. I've got the book here. I'm sure you see the knife.
Okay, it's on the cover maybe, but
no, it's not. Okay, but no, that's so. What were you going to say about Silence of the Lambs? That it's terrifying.
The book is like the movie. The movie's great, and everyone should watch it. But it's not as scary as the book is.
Wow.
I believe it.
I would say the movie is about 90% good and the 10% not so good.
What do you think is not so good about Silence of the Lambs, Cap?
Everything about Hannibal Lecter is great, but I think Buffalo. I actually watched it on TV, so they actually blurred out a lot of the stuff that I didn't. Happy that I didn't see, but when I saw that I was actually what I was missing out, I was like, thank God I missed out because
what was it that you're missing? He tucks it in.
He
tucks it in. We all know that scene. He tucks it in. You don't see it.
There's a lot of gross. Again, I would say sometimes horror they go gross. Gross stuff never really scares me more than it gives me the head. So I never connect that with horror. The whole thing about Hannibal Lecter's speech, acting, psychological horror, I give it to that movie. But when they get to body horror, I'm like, yeah, you're cheap.
How about Manhunter or Red Dragon? Manhunter came before Silence of the Lambs. The film.
I can't tolerate Manhunter just for its overly 80s soundtrack. That just puts me off it, to be honest.
Pretty old school.
Right, everything just goes.
Sorry, I had some tech issues, so I had to switch to my phone.
No, these things happen. Okay, anyone, Marty, have you seen Manhunter and do you prefer it to Red Dragon?
No, I don't prefer it, but I do like Manhunter. I do know that it's dated, but I love the sequence where Tom Noonan as the Tooth Fairy is running towards the window and crashes through the window using Inagata Devita by Iron Butterfly as the background music. I think it's a really cool and spooky sequence.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. I watched it once 10 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't Red Dragon." But fair enough.
I like
Thank God.
an old movie like that. It's because there were serial killers in the 80s. They looked corny, back in the day. Like Ed Gein was a corny hillbilly kind of guy, like a folksy hayseed kind of guy. So
do you know what? Ed Gein, if we're going to get into this just for a moment, it inspired Buffalo Bill, Leatherface, and Psycho. So what a ledge. What a ledge,
Crazy.
We're thinking of that on this night.
Isn't there a film? The guys who did the classical book horror guy with the Coen brothers or something like that. Didn't they do a movie with the writer and the serial killer Hotel from Hell kind of thing? I forgot the name of the title of that movie. That's Capital Pictures. Let me look it up.
Okay.
But
anyway,
But I was gonna say, in terms of books, I would put Call of Cthulhu and also At the Mountains of Madness as one of the best horror books.
What are we talking about right now? Books?
No, we're not. We're not going there. Right, I'm trying to bring this one to a close just because there's a load of other stuff.
Nothing scarier than the Bible's Revelations.
Now, I think we've heard the nominations here. Now, not everyone here is a horror fan, and so that's fair enough. But between us, what can we say? Let's check. We've also got some comments and stuff. What do we think we're leaning towards as probably the greatest horror film of all time? I think Halloween, The Thing, Silence of the Lambs. I would throw in there as well. The Omen I need to watch again, and I do understand The Exorcist as well. But I think The Exorcist it's very slow paced for watching nowadays.
Honestly, I'm gonna withdraw that nomination.
Okay, leave it in there. Capel Fave did finish watching The Substance as well, which I think is a great horror film from
The
this
one-
year.
And Batman did a better episode.
The one and only time I watched The Exorcist, I laughed all the way through it.
Wow.
I thought it was very
strange ways.
But Exorcist 3 is really good though.
Okay.
I agree with what Dev just posted in the chat.
Have you seen
What's he posting in the chat?
Scary movie with Charlie Sheen.
Scary Movie 3 is much better than 1 and 2. Scary Movie 3 is the best one by far. But
it has the iconic TV fight scene with the ring girl. I always appreciate that. I always like monsters getting a beat down.
Yeah.
I also want to add Chopping Mall.
No.
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
I think I know when I got that joke because like months ago we recommended Shopping Mall to David, who was meant to watch it by Halloween.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. Cap, I said I'd watch Trick or Treat this week. I forgot until we were on this show. I've got a terrible memory. I have a terrible memory.
Trick or Treat is a good movie, but it's not better than Halloween.
Yeah.
No, it's better than Halloween because it's actually a Halloween film. It has Halloween monsters that I like in it.
And then I also have one more nomination, if I may make it.
Yeah, go for it.
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
No.
No.
What? No, it's a great film.
No.
Monster Squad. Oh my god, I haven't seen that in years. That's a good movie as well.
The Dracula
Okay,
calls that young girl a bitch. Which is the most shocking scene in the movie.
Okay, so I do you know what the one thing I think is like if we don't have enough like horror fans here, I don't know that we're actually going to be able to reach a consensus from an informed position.
Well,
So-
I'm willing to side with you, David, and say that Halloween is.
Well, Marty, I was willing to side with you and say it was The Thing. So we've kind of swapped here.
Well,
I
can
think
we just say that John Carpenter is the king of horror?
I like
Yes.
that.
You know what?
Yeah.
I will agree to that. If it'll get us out of this discussion and into something
You know what? Give it to Austin Powers and wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We will wrap that up. We will move on to other stuff.